New York Excelsior look like they want to run Sombra Reaper here. We're going to see the Nene teleport. And then he's going to actually swap to Tracer. So full Winston dive here for NYXL.
I'm sure a lot of Mono fans going to be happy with that, given how good his Winston has been looking. His Wrecking Ball has been right up there as well. Looking for the knock off the side of the map. Nero going to be able to find that. Breaks down the bubble. A lot of rockets being weaved in with Bionade. Sets up for the kill onto Mono. So first one's coming through here for the Pharah. Hopla going to be desuited. Pilot form going to be killed off. Nene taken down by Twomp, finding him with a hook shot combo. And it will be the Guangzhou Charge who are able to grab this first point.
You can see it again. Nero's 75% of the way to his ultimate with all the damage he's doing on New York's approach. New York just can't close the gap. Mono can't do anything. He's done barely any damage. Closing the distance is the hardest part against this Farrakhan. Once you get on the point, you can win that fight, but getting there, that's the challenge, and they finally do touch it.
Make their way through. That's going to be coming in. Now Coalescence thrown out by JJONAK, but instantly does get hacked by Happy. Great target prioritization there. Interrupts that ultimate, really limits the healing coming out. That's going to be the Nano Boost here onto Neroz. He tries to get the shots onto Anamo. Manages to find him, doesn't even have to pop the barrage yet. Guangzhou Charge still just holding on to the point as Mono's got very little HP left. It's just eating right clicks. EMP still going to be committed to the fight by Happy. Manages to catch out two members. Pull it in, gets the break on Hopla's mech. The Pulse Bomb, however, does take down Fong. So Nero gets a scoop, getting rid of that Pilot Form Diva yet again. Nero still holds on to the barrage, waiting for his moment. He got Mono out of the fight right then and there, but likely would have finished himself off as well due to the proximity. EMP comes in, Nero gets a direct hit. Now, however, is going to be grounded. Cannot pop that ultimate, but manages to retreat outside the window, keeping himself alive and in the fight. NYXL still have not gotten to split back through, and Nero rejoined. Takes down Mono yet again before he can use the primal range. Now Guangzhou are going to be looking to take this into one-fight territory, if not just find that 100% to 0.
I mean, he's looking more likely here. Nero still hasn't used his barrage because it's a liability. It makes him immobile. It makes him actually vulnerable. If he's going to hit these direct hits repeatedly with no one contesting, why would he ever use the barrage?
They get a hack onto Shu, meaning that Mono can go in with a primal rage. They cannot get a sleep. They hack him out though, and Hoxel does get taken down. Mono with the stomp finishes off the enemy Ana as the self-destruct will be used on the point by Hanma. They'll be able to make it back into the mech. Finally, it seems like NYXL are showing some real signs of life as they come up with multiple kills. Both supports taken down in that fight. One of the tanks gone, and NYXL are finally on the board.
But Achilles, the ult economy is massively in favor of Guangzhou Charge here. They have total control. They have 5 ultimates coming online here. And this is all about Anamo right now. If his barrier does not go off here, if he gets hacked, if he is deleted or forced away, then this is just going to be the round going to Guangzhou Charge. Happy sees him too. He knows. He should know. I don't think he actually saw him. He does now. He certainly knows now.
See if he even cares to go for that. Mindfield's going to be used by Rio. Happy feels himself going for a hack. Doesn't manage to find that one. Anamo pushing forward. Headshot kill onto Shu. EMP going to be used around the corner, and Anamo drops a beat, but he's only shielding himself. He didn't catch anybody else on the side of NYXL, but maybe it won't be that costly as Kronk does get eliminated by Hanzo in the end. We're still holding on to the barrage. Has not let that one loose yet. It might just have to wait a little bit longer as Rio does fall. There should be a reset here for the Guangzhou Charge.
There are some issues with Happy here on this Sombra. You know, his first EMP was really risky, but I think it was warranted, right? When the point looked like it might flip, he used it early. The second one here, you know, he knew where Anamo was, but still misplaced it. Huxels had the much better time of things here, not in this case. No translocator to get out of this one.
Okay. Doesn't have that, so yeah, does just get sent off the side of the map. Nero now moving forward. Still for that opportunity to drop through the barrage. Getting Kappa out of the mech would really set up for that. Mono almost gets knocked off the side. Really gets that lead in time to bring himself back up onto the platform. Coalescence out, Nero. Shocked a little bit, but got that pocket healing from Charge. He takes this guy, staying with him with that Valkyrie. Also lobbing in the translocator, drops down, goes for the EMP, manages to find two. Kong and Charge going to be hacking to follow up on the Happy, finishes him off with a headshot. Kong falls low, takes a breather, gets some burst healing as well. They're going to be taking this to double OT. 95% of the board currently here for themselves as Guangzhou Charge have to step onto the point. So far, no one is doing that. Can they make it? The answer is going to be no.
Anamo had a phenomenal game. This is one of his kills onto Rio. He had another kill onto Shu, just in a kind of side 1v1. Compositions here look like they are going to vary. With the McCree coming out for Happy, Nene wants to play this just full Symmetra, full death ball right onto the point.
Let's see how Guangzhou Charge deal with this. shields to go ahead and charge up off of, given that Rio is on that Reinhardt. So Eddie pulls down that left click. That beam ready to go. Immortality field going to be used. Happy. That slight little high ground. That tank advantage as he moves to the top of the stairs. Instead drops back down here with the rest of the squad. Sees the teleporter come out. Looks like he will not be able to make it through. 4 kills instantly coming out with Hoppa getting ready to go down on the back end of the fight.
This should be a swap for Nene. Yeah, it is. He does go over to the McCree. You can't really approach the point with a Symmetra. You're not going to get that shield in a build up onto Rio's shield, or the charge up on the Rio shield. As Happy it's picked off here. It was a nice flank angle from Hoxall. So you have to swap over, and you know, down a member here is going to be a pretty nice opening for NYXL.
Yeah, the wall comes up to cut them off, but the Guangzhou Charge just push into the members of the NYXL. They say, you know what, doesn't matter if we lost out on our McCree, we can still move forward. Mortality Field going to be taken down by the Coalescence, as Nene manages to find 2. Char and Rio both gone. A lot of healing cut out, that shield gone as well, so NYXL get on the board a lot faster this time.
Krong's already charged up a little bit on his Zarya right now, and he's going to be one of the big engagers here. He's at 60 energy. He's going to have to survive this grab
out. Jedi's rolling. The wall comes up to block that one off. So doesn't miss to find anything with that grab now. The response from Krong comes through. Blizzard going to be tossed out. It's a freeze here onto Rio. Focus fire coming in onto the Reinhardt. Very scrappy fight back and forth, but only the 1 kill picked up here for the Guangzhou Charge as they lose out on 4. Now a 5th.
But NYXL are split, and the Blizzard ends up being more effective for NYXL because the Guangzhou players were already trapped in a grab and were trying to split, trying to get away from it, but they just didn't have the same amount of space to work with because of the, you know, defensive grab coming out first for Hoppa. So taking that initiation, now they still hold this shatter.
Let them up.
Matrix used for Nene here on this high ground. Sound barrier going to be used right now. Guangzhou Charge look for an opportunity. Sees the break on the shield, knows that he can get the kills, comes up with 2 on the back of the Deadeye. Great focus fire from the members of the NYXL to go ahead and shut down Rio's shield.
Hoxall, with just a few more right clicks, will have the Blizzard to probably secure this round. They're going to have the faster grab too. This looks so unlikely for Guangzhou unless they get a rogue pickoff here or a huge shatter somehow.
Yeah, Matrix out of the corner, just peeking through that May wall. Krong falls low, not back up slowly as Rio waits for the ice block to go away. Deadeye now out from Happy, forces them behind the center file here in the map. Grab comes out solo onto Rio. Immortality Field will keep him alive as Krong gets frozen. Immortality Field gets focused down to find the kill. Happy able to drag one back, as then he will be eliminated. Again, they find 4. Get this flip into their favor. Hero now gone, OT bleeding away. No one makes it to the point in time. The Winston here again for Mono.
It's a mirror. Happy scouts it, obviously everyone can see it now, and you know, this is going to be a real big test for Rio, I want to say. He needs to be extremely patient because in this mirror, if you get hacked and then it gets on top of you, as a Winston, you are going to die so quickly. He needs to be very careful with how he uses his bubble and how he engages.
Yep, bubble already going to be used as Hoxall makes his way into the back. He's going to hack off. Top looks to display some people from the high ground. You can see the collective drop down going to be coming through from Guangzhou Charge. As they look to just stay together and then try to push back on the point, which is currently a single tick will be grabbed up by the NYXL. 3 minutes remaining. They get a little over halfway towards that second one as free contest. Now comes in for the Guangzhou Charge, moving their way up. That comes out onto Krong. No Doom Matrix going to be available to mitigate the damage coming out from this Reaper. Second tick picked up as NYXL to force the Guangzhou Charge off of this point, but Mono has overstepped this a little bit. They get the collapse onto the enemy Winston. Krong taking him down, but Rio just gets absolutely destroyed, melted before he can use the primal range, and that could be a big turning point here in the fight for the side of the NYXL. EMP comes up first for Hoxall, throws that one out, instantly finds 3 with both of the supports, just for good measure. Then he will go ahead and commit the Death Blossom to the fight to clean up 3 more.
And look at Chara in the top right. He's hacked at this moment, can't provide a sound barrier. Krong's out of position. It's blown up, you know, after the hack comes through. It's blown up by this explosion here coming through the Death Blossom. And now Nene is just like, okay, well, that's all I needed. Happy's gone to ZMP now, but the hardest part is over for NYXL. Despite being behind, despite losing Mono early in that fight.
Yeah. Now looking to press the defensive issue here for the Guangzhou Charge. They have nearly all 6 ultimates available to try and gain control of this card on the corner. Rio's going to pop that primal rage, does get hacked, so now can't leap into the back line, try to displace anybody. Instead, he's smacking Mono away from his team as best as possible. And Happy gets caught. Coalescence finishing off the enemy Soma before he can use the EMP. And Oxel now going to be lapping him. Has another one ready to go. Throws the Translocator up over the top, throws out the EMP. Rio already going to be gone. As yet again, it's Bong, Char, and Shu all caught by the EMP. Char under fire, trying to retreat, will just get finished off here at the end.
And we've got to see an aggressive play here from Guangzhou. They're going to have to seize the day. You're going to have to look for a fight. Very aggressive push here from Happy. Does avoid the spy check and is undetected. So Risk does get rewarded if he can get this off here. If he can get a big one.
Fully bounces. Okay, you know what? If they're pulling back, I can just go ahead and continue to poke out. Hopefully we can get some kills.
Namo's right.
Some time off of this clock. So yeah, EMP does come out, and Namo is ready, as you say, gets the beat off, but it will be Mono still being taken down despite the shielding out from the Lucio. So there still will be a nice little stall for the side of the Guangzhou Charge, buying them some much needed time. As there's still 4 minutes and 6 seconds remaining in the time bank here for New York.
Looks like they want to set up for another Oxal EMP into this Blossom, and Oxal is so close to it.
Percent now left to go. Rio retreats back around the corner with Bong as they try to stay alive. Are able to do so thus far. Coalescence out from Shu, keeping them topped up. Then ATP's in, has to Rage walk away. A bit of an overstep from him, still holds on to the Death Blossom. Now Rio going to be gone. The EMP comes out, sound barrier out from Shara. Doesn't manage to get the majority of the team. It's so much damage, so much focus fire onto Happy. They know how close he is to that next EMP. They know that that could be the one thing that really stops this card from moving forward. So they get rid of him, delaying that further, and just moving their way up. Rio jumps back in, has to go ahead, use the self-destructive remech. Nero going to be teleporting into the back, has the Blossom ready to go, but spots on the Diva, knows that he can't use it, and then everybody just turns onto him and takes him down. Doesn't get an opportunity, it might not get one. There you go, no one touching the point, the card just inches in. At least a little bonus here for the Guangzhou Charge, as Happy makes his way around the back. We'll begin going on the hunt for a hack target. Does go ahead and reveal himself there at the end. Bubble used from Rio. They pull back around the corner. A lot of damage going out onto the members of the NYXL Hot, but nearly getting mech'd right there. Then they will drop down to rejoin the rest of the squad. Deep into the back, however, by himself is Happy. Fired yet again. Nene cleaning up the kill. Point being contested right now by both teams. Nene going to be TPing forward. They get the hack now onto Rio. It's really all up and wrong with this defense matrix. Trying to keep it what's insane. Hack expires. Coalescence rolling. First from Shu. Now JJONAK going to be matching. They push out onto the point, but already Hoppa going to be gone. But they manage to collapse on top of the enemy Moira. Namo gets a killing blow to finish off Shu. Point like we're going to have to be abandoned.
They have to abandon it. They
can't. A reset here. Yeah, Guangzhou Charge have to go again.
They can't fight. They were so close to turning that around with Shu's Coalescence. He's killed by Anamo, of all people. And now New York have this EMP. Happy's almost there, but he's not going to be able to pull the trigger first, not unless they do a slow push here. But the clock is ticking down. This is not where you want to be versus an enemy EMP. It's all coming through at once. So they have to be very careful about how they engage this.
There you have it. 4 members going to be hacked by Charge. Does have the sound barrier. Can they convert this into a team fight win is now the question. It's not the Guangzhou Charge. Back up the top from Mono, looking to recontest, but Nero is just cleaning up. Point still not being contested. Mono will get finished off, and Hotba with very little HP on that mech. We'll grab a Mega Pack to try to get back into the fight. Happy looking for that hack, can't quite find an ammo. They
want to contest.
An idea that he has this. Because they have that shield, they're going to push back forward. That Blossom comes out, going to be matched now by Nero. To help with Happy, they will go ahead and finish off Benny before he can do some more damage. Darn, however, going to be out long now. Next, self-destruct going to be used, looking to buy some space, and it has brought enough. Cap comes in onto point A as NYXL now going to have to try and retreat.
Really historical for New York, the way they're playing right now. Oxel kills a translocator, is looking for more.
Gets the hack on the Charge, gets a lot of damage on those bugs. Headshots coming through. Meanwhile, Happy over on the card uses the EMP, manages to find Nero before the sound barrier comes out from Anamo. Coalescence rolling as well, just going to be chipping away at the members of the NYXL as they look to create some space for this caught due to the Guangzhou Charge. Mono going down, they'll find a hell of a lot of space. In fact, go ahead and continue pushing forward toward point B. If they can roll this through with little opposition, then suddenly the time bank disparity is not as much of a concern for the Guangzhou Charge.
It's about this lack of sound barrier for Chara right now. He does actually avoid that, and Hoxel doesn't know he doesn't have it. So he actually misses a chance.
Hoxel gets forced out. Chara will be able to have the sound barrier online for the next fight when Hoxel looks to use this EMP. Just is, can he avoid the EMP yet again? It's been pretty good about it so far in the series. So falling low, JJONAK keeping him topped up. Chara hovering on the high ground. They have to know exactly where he is by now. EMP still going to be used. The sound barrier comes out. Chara catching all 6 members on the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Follow-up hack goes through onto Lucio. Rio falling dangerously low. He will get enough healing pushed back out to keep him in the fight, so he can continue. Let's get the rest of the team. The strong men to find Hoxel. TP now coming out from Nero. Works his way into the back, holds onto the Death Blossom. Waits for his moment, now drops it. The Matrix coming through there from Hopper, mitigating a little bit of that damage, but they got the break on the mech. They get the supports, and they get point B.
Guangzhou Charge, sure, they have an EMP right now available, but it's not going to be the one that closes out the map, not yet, and the time is already in favor of the NYXL. So NYXL is just saying, okay, I think you're going to finish the map, but we're going to have a better start on our second run. That was the plan, that was the stall strategy here. Happy somehow avoids detection here behind Hoppa. He's looking for that big EMP.
Use the bushes as cover. EMP does come out on Ammo again. Down here on the spot. There's the sound barrier. So far, nobody going to be taken down on either side. Follow-up hack, however, onto Rio. Denies the use of the Primal Rage, so he will fall. And trade out on the Winston, but given the defensive positioning here for the NYXL, it is going to be the Guangzhou Charge having to pull back rather than pressing the issue.
Hoxel going to have that EMP combo set up with Nene they've been really loving to use so far in this series. Chara, again, getting outpaced, so that this time they're not going to have the sound barrier. Now, again, Hoxel doesn't know that for sure, but he can reasonably assume this is going to be one of the toughest fights Guangzhou has to take.
Yep, EMP now out, 3 members. Attack from the side of the Guangzhou Charge, Happy the first one to fall. Mono still eliminated by Nero. Manages to find that kill and almost has his Death Blossom online, now gets it. Blossom used from Nene.
Pretty poor one as well from Nene there.
Doesn't deliver too much. Sound barrier comes in from Chara, knows that Hoxel is quite a ways away from that EMP and they want to get across the finish line. Makes long use from Nero to keep himself safe, goes out, doesn't use the Death Blossom, but still does get taken down. He and Chara now falling. Guangzhou Charge again, gonna have to reset and go for a last second push.
Guangzhou have a huge uphill battle, and even if they win the first fight, there's going to be delay, there's going to be stall. This looks like an overtime finish, best case scenario here for the Guangzhou Charge right now. Uh-oh, and I don't know if he's going to block it.
EMP comes out, Namo, he does have the barrier yet again to go ahead and deny the follow-up from the Guangzhou Charge. Answering EMP is absolutely huge from the side of Hoxel, catching 5 members yet again. Rio going to take him down, doesn't get to use the Primal Rage. They get the headshot kill onto Nero. Chara now eliminated. 45 seconds left in the time making Guangzhou Charge, just 2 ultimates to use. Can they make this happen? It is looking less and less likely, and even if they can finish the map, it's likely going to be in overtime.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, that's what I was saying just before. I mean, it just feels like they're checkmated here in terms of the ult economy. Sure, now they have the advantage, but they still have to close a large gap before they can even use that slight ult advantage that they have right now. And New York could just buy so much time. They're going to have so many stall heroes coming out as well if we even get to that final point.
Their way forward, Rio looking to see if he gets hacked. Nene actually going to be one to receive this. They try to collapse onto the Reaper, but he almost turns it around. Forces out the Primal Rage from Rio. We move down into overtime. Touching the card, they barely managed to do so there at the last second. But now they're moving forward. Nene goes TP around the back. Death Blossom dropped in. Bubble comes out, does keep the team protected. Nene almost eliminated, fell down to 5 HP, I believe, before he manages to exit with that break walk. Moves from him, get a break on the Hot Buzz mech and finish off that baby Diva. EMP comes through, sound barrier out from Anamo yet again, shielding up the rest of the team that's still alive. Now Hoxel responds in kind. Chara tries to come in, tries to be the hero, drops the sound barrier, but it's too late for Rio. He's already out of the fight. Strong cannot stay in the mech. They take him down. The Death Blossom from Nero sets him for a kill. One to Mono. They need a hell of a lot more than that if they want to get this payload moved into the finish line. Self-destruct into the back line, finds Nero. They get the cleanup onto Chara again.
And it is just going to be that Reaper dive with Sombra for both squads here. Again, something that Mono excels at, that Rio has just simply not been given the same support. Already used his leap here for a few more seconds. That's a risky moment. Does get it back.
It is. Drops down the bubble. Moves up into the air. He's being pursued by Hotba. They get a little amount of damage onto him. And with the defensive positioning, the jumps coming out, he retreats so much that Mono is able to take a very slight lead. Now, we'll go ahead and push forward as he manages to find Happy in the back, finishing him off. It's going to be relatively healthy overall. The Guangzhou Charge wholesale just going to be shoved up the staircase around the backside of the point. Second tick now getting ready to come in for free for the New York Excelsior. The contest getting ready to come through. That's the point right at the last second. 97.2% now going to be built up for the NYXL. Coalescence rolling here for Shu. JJONAK now has his in response. And now a little bit further ahead towards that sound barrier as well. So the defensive ultimates certainly are going to be there for the NYXL if they want to keep this fight going. More importantly though, EMP is ready. Throws it out. Oxel does die instantly, but it might not matter, and it does not. Kills come in on the back end. He got enough people on the side of the Guangzhou Charge for NYXL to capitalize, and now they're getting ready to move into point B. The Death Blossom, a Primal Rage, Self-Destruct, Sound Barrier. There's so many tools here. Guangzhou Charge, they're close, but they're just straggling behind just a little bit too much.
Chara is 10% away, well he was. He's 5% away now from that Sound Barrier, and that's going to be I think the big deterrent here. I don't think NYXL necessarily wants to blow all their ultimates right now to try to get this insane time bank with a double cap, because that could just actually backfire with Happy having a defensive EMP and Chara getting the sound barrier off. Could actually really waste a lot of their ults here. Let's see what they decide to do, how much they commit. Then he sneaks around the back. And there's no Matrix here. Prong goes down.
At the point right now, Rio goes in. Primal Rage does come through, leaps up into the air. Eluding Nene as much as he possibly can, knows that he will get ripped to shreds if he lands in front of that Reaper. Now NYXL going to be held off the point, still sitting around the catacombs here on the left side. Happy.
Yeah,
but in the back, EMP is ready, throws out the EMP, gets the interrupt, but Anamo again does not get clipped by the hack. Drops down the beat, go back out with the shields rolling, trying to find success. That Blossom comes through, D-Matrix is there to chew up the damage. Numbani waiting for his opportunity, drops it in, finds Nero, will get taken down by the Coalescence out from Shu. Falling low, get knocked out of the mech, is forced to use that self-destruct. Hotba using his own, neither is going to be finding any kills, but Hoxel will capitalize on the baby diva, finishing off Prong. The tanks still waiting to respawn as the second tank comes through on the point. Still 4 minutes in the time bank here for the NYXL. This map, Coalescence comes in, EMP going to be talking for Chara, evades that one, drops the beat, shielding up his teammate, trying to keep them alive as Nero will manage to take down Mono. Also looking for another target, drops down, gets a hack onto the Mega Pack. I'll be waiting for the re-approach. NYXL, if you go ahead, they pull out of the point.
God, I really feel like Reaper for Nero is such a good fit. He's playing it so well. He's had so many really nice moments over this, right? I mean, sure, if you look at the Reaper matchup, you might think, oh, okay, Nene is just crushing it. He's winning on every metric. That's because Hoxel's had these EMPs to set him up so many times that Nero has had less EMPs, and he's still finding big impact. Happy, speaking of EMPs, has another one online here, is undetected. Nero's trying to give him a little bit of extra room here to breathe with as he looks for his Death Blossom.
Surprised he actually stays there, pushes up around the corner. Again, the sound barrier going to be phenomenal. Catches 5 members on the side of the NYXL. Hack now going to be expiring, meaning the Mono, unless he can follow up Hack and pop this Primal Rage, and he will as he makes his way into the back line. Hack now comes through, can't leave to rejoin the rest of his squad, but might not matter as Nene pushing forward, finds Rio all out on his lonesome. Does manage to take him down before he can use the Primal himself. Struck goes up over the top, Nene retreats in behind the sarcophagus. Strong will make it back in the mech. Death Blossom from Nero finds Hoxel, knew that he had that health pack hack. Does manage to finish him off. That's going to allow for Happy to catch back up. Matrix comes through, but no Prong going to be melted out of that mech, so cannot continue to protect his squad. Nene finishes off that pilot form Diva. Rio goes into Primal Rage, looking desperately to find a kill. Gets a cleave in, Chara collapses. JJONAK going to be gone.
I would have hit that. You know, Chara has sound barrier. It's a whole different ball game. You know, we might actually have that final tick coming across. But now, you know, Guangzhou survived. They have the sound barrier ready. And this is definitely defendable.
Yeah, EMP catches 3. Hoxel going to be taken down instantly. Sound barrier does get used from Anamo. Hoxel in this fight, can they keep things going? Self-destruct going to be tossed out. Prong almost knocked out of the mech by that. Coalescence will come through from Shu to go ahead and try to top the rest of the team back up. Hoxel going to be sprinting his way back over where Chara will be waiting, trying to counteract the EMP yet again with another well-timed sound barrier. Rio goes in, EMP going to be used solo onto the Winston, but it does work. They manage to take him out, exit to go back in with the rest of the squad. We've got some wiggle room here. Jar drops down the sound barrier, shields up the rest of the squad. Wrong. The hack will expire as he stays safe for a little bit longer. Force out of the neck, using the self-destruct. Oxo going to be gone. Nero again comes in with the Death Blossom. It seems like NYXL should finally have made this happen. Coalescence out as it's a solo Moira. The focus fire comes in. They try to shove him off the point. It actually will lead to a break on the mech of Hotba, forcing him to use the self-destruct. And now Mono is going to be taken down. They get a hack on the Nene. And oh my god, I think that the Guangzhou Charge might just have made this turnaround happen.
And they've got
Happy still holding on to an EMP. The rest of the team is going to be retreating. There's 20 seconds remaining.
New York get one more fight here, and Mono will build the Primal as long as he doesn't get hacked and killed off point. He's at 72% right now. Happy's going to have this off-point EMP, very likely, just across the bridge. That's the game plan here. He's looking for it at the midpoint.
Aldo gets hit. It's game over. Should have seen him down the lower right side.
They need to hack on Mono so badly.
Bubble comes down, will be denying that one away. The EMP is going to be used, and Albo again has the sound barrier. Comes up from around the corner. Hotba, however, does not receive the shield and will get taken down. Zero swap onto the Tracer, low HP. Rio going to fall. A tank for a tank so far. Hotba tries to pistol his way back into the mech. Have not been able to finish off that baby even yet.
There's the Primal.
We'll go ahead, he drops that down, gets back into the mech. The Death Blossom from Nene, wreaking havoc, finds Krong, finds Jara. They start taking their way back up, but they haven't gained any percentage yet. Oxo jumps up over the top, looking for some more kills, some more targets to hack as the rest of the Guangzhou Charge string their way out onto the point. Rio pops the Primal Rage, there's just too much damage, and he finds the headshot to go ahead and finish him off, and it seems like this should just be a matter of time. Self-destruct thrown down on the corner, looking for a pick, will not be able to find one. Krong will not be able to survive, and Jar cannot get there in time to use the sound barrier to try to keep the fight going. Taking their time. Oxo going to get tagged up as he pokes around the corner, because I think he's as curious as we were as to whether or not there's going to be any swaps. I was expecting there to be more, but instead it will still just be the Sombra and the Reaper here. Nero looking to win that ground battle as Oxo pokes out from above. 41% now going to be built up towards that barrage. They go ahead and look for the push. Hack out onto Hotba, Bionade onto both tanks, but do they have the damage to try to take down either of them? Bionade will go ahead and expire.
There's no follow-up.
Asleep on the high ground. You can see that D-Matrix coming out from Hotba, looking to protect him, and Chu is just going to get hooked in.
There's no escape here.
Oxel, ooh, yeah, he's got a great back angle now. Pushing around the side, looking to weave that damage and get the barrage online. Guangzhou Charge in a very rough position.
They'd love to reset if they could, but they can't. So this is just going to be this awkward losing fight where they lose both the fight and time, trying to regroup. That's a good hack.
Oh, Oxel barrage available, hacked out. Bionade will keep him alive for a little bit longer. Anubis still not going to be there yet for JJONAK, but he's building it up rather quickly. Rio makes his way out the back as Hoxel will finish off Chara, and that's going to finally be the reset here for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Nero goes for the range walk and will just get effectively self-staggered.
You never want to be, 4 members like that caught in a room. Now we're down to less than 2 minutes here.
Less than 2 minutes with, close to 5 ults online for the NYXL. Mono straggling behind just a little bit more compared to the rest, but...
I mean, this EMP too, I don't know how effective it's going to be versus Safara. Here comes it now.
Nero is used onto Nero. He pushes up, Barrage comes down, finds Rio. But instantly, Mono and Amo both going to be eliminated. Nero now trying to escape. Wraps his way out around the corner. Will be able to stay topped up here for the moment. As Strong desperately asks for some healing from Shu. Make their way back over towards the point where Hoppa is still going to be defending. Pushes up to contest the high ground, has to drop back down. Sleep Dart, but woken up immediately. Guangzhou Charge still continue to build up their ultimates.
Buying so much time, New York is, though. They're going to re-engage.
Now on the way. Hoppa taking a lot of damage. The sound barrier going to be used by Jar. He goes in, manages to find JJONAK.
This looks like a very double capture situation, very potential double cap, right, situation for Guangzhou Charge. They have the EMP into the Blossom, right? They have Rio for longevity here on the point. The only thing they don't have is that sound barrier they use. This is still a good fight for them.
Get the hack onto Hotba. Nero not going to be going in for that Death Blossom yet. He had to clear the bomb off the point. Final range is out from Rio, however. It does get hacked upon use, but Nene gone. He looks to go back through his charge, just steadily building up towards another sound barrier, already about to be at 70%. Leaving those shots in around the pillar, getting the clips here onto Mono. Just build them up build that up rather quickly.
That was not really...
Guangzhou will just go ahead and pull out.
Not a ton of commitment there from Guangzhou Charge, but it's insane that Huxel swaps late and almost matches Happy now on the EMP charge. Speaking of...
Yep, coming in from behind, drops down the EMP, a sleep out onto Huxel as well. And he receives that nano boost from JJONAK to try to keep him alive and in the fight and try to break down pushing members of the Guangzhou Charge.
The Ults economy pendulum will swing back into New York's favor after this fight if Guangzhou can't make something happen here. They've already used their EMP, so it's tough to engage. They're going to go ahead and nano for the start. Look at this position here.
Yep, they all in onto Mono. Sleep Dart now onto Nero. Sound Barrier will keep him safe for the moment. The Bionade will expire. Guangzhou Charge want this to be the fight. They get the break onto Hoppa's mech. They finish off the Baby Diva. That bubble to go ahead and absorb the self-destruct explosive so no one gets taken down. That's Blossom ready for Nero, waiting for his opportunity. Forces Huxel to jump away. Sound Barrier used by Anamo. We'll see how long they can wait this one out. Guangzhou Charge start retreating away from the point where they still have not gotten that first tick. Shoot does get picked off. Switch around the corner now looking for Chara, but a bit too fast. But Guangzhou, it looked like that was the time that they wanted to be all in on the point to close it out. They cannot make it happen. Now their time has been reduced by 2 minutes.
That's, you know, New York's saving grace here is the longevity they're going to get with this nano on the mono. There it is. And that EMP they're about to build.
Chuck it out, they get the sleep dart, but he's very rudely awoken instantly thereafter. Exactly what you want if you're the Guangzhou Charge, but with 6 ultimates, can they get this cap on the point with time left in the bank? Happy forces to jump away. EMP does come through, catches out on the free shot, nails the sound barrier, but just too much focus fire and Real will fall. Nero equalizes, trading out Mono in response. Online here for Krong, waiting for his opportunity, but Nene denied any damage from the defense matrix. Krong crucially holding on to his ult. And now that the Reaper is gone, might feel a little bit more free to use it. Leaving down, Rio rejoins the primal range, takes down Hoppa, just smacking JJONAK around, helps get the kill onto Anamo, will be sleeping over towards the spawn doors. Tries to drop the bubble, but Nene on top of him directly. Does manage to find the kill. And they teleport down into the corner, Mono rejoins. Anti, but nano boosted, will be okay, and the Guangzhou Charge,
EMP is ready.
8 seconds remaining, are not going to be able to get this cap with time in the bank, but now they have to get the cap in general. Already going to be demeched. Makes his way over to the point of the pilot form Diva, going to be taking down Hoppa, punishing him. Leap comes in from Rio. EMP goes out, manages to find 2. The Bionade on top of the Winston as well means that Rio is a goner, cannot do anything. Happy, trying to build up, almost has the EMP ready to go. Goes back in on the point, Nero manages to find 1, gets with a Hoppa, punishing him after he uses the ult. The Death Blossom will find Anamo. Down barrier, going to be dropped. It's just for Chara and for Nero as Rio swaps over onto the Wrecking Ball to try to rejoin in quickly. Mono taken down. Spam shot coming in on the Nene, try to keep him alive. They do manage to find the kill. Now they're looking for a little bit more. 84.5% built up for the side of the Guangzhou Charge. Can they actually make this happen? Happy's coming back in. The EMP still going to be ready. Self-destruct down on the point from Krong, looking for a pick. Will not be able to find one, but will be able to make it back into the mech safely. EMP comes through. Manages to find both the tanks and Anubis used however onto Mono, who will keep him alive. Huxel going to be taken down. Hoppa out of the mech. That Blossom comes in from Nero, and he finds 2. That might just be good enough. They manage to finish him off. Nene pushing forward. Gets rid of the opposing Reaper. Shoot will strike him down, just holding down that right click. Gets rid of Nene. Excel streaming on the point one after the other, trying to get this defense off, but they cannot make it happen, and it will be a minute apiece.
Such a good anti-dive combo Guangzhou is running, though. Huxel's not going to have time to build Dragon Blade, at least not in this first, push. You only get really one push, so he's going to have to extend that for a long time if he wants the blade.
I have your back.
Strong taking a nap there for the moment. Does get woken up.
And he just wants one chance, one headshot. Could open everything up.
Happy to spawn there. Onto the Genji. Gets the shot. Happy striking down Huxel. Follows up. Finds a second one. Gets rid of Nene. Now JJONAK going to be gone. The Bionade goes out from Shu, and they might have just actually done this. The res will bring JJONAK back into the fray, but it doesn't matter. Nobody can touch the point. Sometimes comfort's just the way to go. Is he happy? Showing some hesitation about jumping up onto the initial archway. Knows that it's a bit too risky, puts him way out into the open versus Huxel. So wants to try a little more sneakily. The shoot be ripped apart. Huxel finding the kills. Happy now going to be taken down. 17 seconds remaining for the Guangzhou Charge. Somebody's going to have to stay alive. Try to get the touch here onto the point. Rio still taken down. Huxel doing an incredible job showing a performance much like we just saw from Happy.
No backdoors.
There's no one tagging in the translocator. And they're taking a shot.
Take your medicine.
Not going to be able to find a kill, but goes for the pop-up over the top. It'll just be very annoyingly greeted, at least from his perspective, by that experimental barrier.
I will keep you
Happy
here.
spots out that shoulder of JJONAK. Cannot get the shot, but does follow up for a headshot on the Mono, taking the Winston rather low. But as you can see, JJONAK having a field day right now with all of this chip damage coming through. He's almost got a nano boost ready to roll.
Happy just waiting for one mistake out of Anamo here. One peak, one overextension. Mono comes in, discorded immediately.
You're powered up. Get in there.
I think they're on the Bianca's Mac. Hawksall going to get nano boosted, just farming up those right clicks off of Krong. Those get eliminated in the end, but Nero finds Mono, so a tank for a tank. It's like going to be expiring now for Happy's. Hawksall gets the shurikens in onto Nero, finishing him off. Dragon Blade now to come through, trying to guarantee this point a take. Hawksall will find Rio for a little bit more, but everybody else going to be gone. The cart will go ahead and glide in.
We saw a taste of this Hawksall Genji versus Shanghai leading up to this series, and there's the revenge from Nero, but this is the first time it feels like the plan came together, right? He gets a fast blade, he farms it off of some deflection onto Krong, and also just shooting at, his big, hitbox, essentially. Just going to get the farm that blade up, and then the blade execution is great. Gets that headshot kill, left click, before the blade is ready, and everything goes perfectly.
Uh-oh.
Oh, no.
He's got to drop down to a decent position, honestly. They have to come way up over the top.
Yeah, he's all right.
See that pursuit there?
And he's not.
Oh, no. He messed up the grapple. And, yeah, it didn't go as far as he wanted to, so he got caught up in the Dragon Strike. So a nice little pick off there.
This is going to be the hardest part of the map, arguably, for this double sniper comp. I mean, Nero gets, a little bit of a pass here on the Hanzo because the choke points are going to work well for his storm arrows, and he can just chip away at people as they do come out of choke points. But for Happy, it's going to be the hard part, right? Because he can't get great sightlines. He's always under threat by Hawksall. And obviously Mono and Bianca, if he steps too far away from his tank line, which essentially heals and keeps him alive.
The spot Krong around the back. Bionade goes out onto 3 members of the Guangzhou Charge and shoot. Does get eliminated before he can use the Transcendence there. Krong on as well, so 2 for 1 is Happy, tries to trade things back, getting the headshot onto JJONAK. Dive up over the top from Mono's, looking to put the pressure on the enemy Widowmaker, which it will, forces him out of the room, but the rest of the team is waiting, so the rest of the NYXL have to pull back over towards the cart, where they're still, making a good amount of distance right now in a pretty good amount of time.
Happy ults here, but even though he can see where everybody is, doesn't mean he can get line of sight if he can't actually find a window to shoot through. Here we go, Nano Blade.
Anubis is out, Hawksall coming around the backside, looking for a target, is just going to get shoved all the way into the back. Managed to find Happy in the end. Getting out-pressured on the other side, the other exit.
Getting to Krong to farm a blade. He's halfway there, obviously, after an insane blade that we just watched. But it's not going to be as easy to make that happen. Nero gets a pick on the Nene, and that tells the story, right? I mean, you have sightlines controlled here, you have full vision, and New York really struggle to challenge that. And even Hawksall getting in there, I mean, yeah, he can, at range, flick those shurikens out as he is now. But even blading is so difficult when you've got such good coverage right now as the Charge does.
That's exactly what Guangzhou wants to see.
I remember this.
Happy also going to be...
This is going to be basically everything but a nano boost for New York for this engage, but again, it's closing that distance that's giving Hawksall so much pause. He keeps getting headshot on the approach. Okay, that's a good start.
That's going to be the big opening for him. Yeah, and then he finds a headshot on the Happy. Single res come out yet as Hawksall will get shoved back by the Dragon Strike. Are going to go in with the Valkyrie. Happy just going to be naturally rezzing. Mono tries to displace the tanks here in the front line. Graviton Surge is going to be used by Rio, but it's a big whip with such a massive displacement there from the Primal Rage that just kind of cleared that out and didn't hit anybody with the grab. That being said, Mono still does get taken down, but Namo on the res to bring him back into the fight. Dragon Blade coming through, Transcendence is out, but Char still so squishy. Cleared in with the Bionade from JJONAK. Thanks for 2 targets, now 3 gone to the Dragon Blade. Deflection out, Hawksall will find a 4th. The Char desperately swaps now over onto the Lucio to get the tag on the cart.
Desperate swap for Nero as well. Rio, Krong, everybody's just trying to delay here. They're trying to burn that time. They're not going to get much else. Nene swapping too to try to get the hacks to prevent
Rio
it.
sleeping.
Just a time by here.
Start there onto the wrecking ball. Yeah, he's going to come back in. Self-destruct tossed out from Bianca. Goes up over the top, pushes Prong away from the cart, knocks him out of that mech. Now Chara going to be gone as well from JJONAK. Clownade locked in. Keeps his team topped off. Hoxel with a sliver of HP will get rolled over as Rio rejoins into the fray, but just doesn't have the help for it. The shield that he popped, there was not enough.
I don't know if this Doomfist is real. It might just be a, yeah, I was going to say a swap as the gates open. Didn't really make sense otherwise.
Ooh. One nice direct hit there on the Hoxel forces him to translocate away from the cart. Shots coming down from above. Almost shred Anamo, and with the help of his forward toss in from Shu, Happy will find the kill. Now gets the follow-up onto Nene. His next target gets the ding on Mono as he leaps out. Happy is just absolutely absurd. This on the other hand, throws out a damage orb.
You know, in terms of the full for Nero and Happy, we talked about on Anubis, you know, I thought we might see it a little bit, but this is an insane duo, you know, when they given these heroes. They have Krong on the Roadhog for some anti-dive here as well, and this is extremely comfortable for Guangzhou Charge, and this is the, you know, the record pace they need.
Jump here to the back line on the shoot, try to take him down. Shot moving in there in time. Nene eliminated by Nero. Continues to push forward, gets the direct shot there on the JJONAK.
I mean, again, like I said earlier, when we started this off on Lijiang, why barrage with this character when you can just hit everything you need? This is just going to be a preemptive minefield to prevent the encroach here of the NYXL players. You can see they can't really touch comfortably.
Bianca had to push into that one. Happy just sitting on the high ground here. 100 HP, and a half, doesn't really mind. There's no JJONAK Ana this time around, so we'll not be able to just toss out that ante. Hoxel, high behind the tree.
Get into position.
Never expected.
He revealed himself. That's big.
He does reveal himself, takes a lot of damage into the dynamite, comes out, Happy finds the kill. Nero in the meantime picks Bianca out of the mech.
This is looking fantastic for Guangzhou.
Yeah, this is catastrophic now for the NYXL. Nene eliminated by Krong. The cart will continue to advance. It's going to be so much time, near 5 minutes here for the Guangzhou Charge in the time being for the final stretch, unless NYXL can get a last-second contest. But JJONAK, he goes for it. Will get finished off in the end. Nero looking for the drop down. Cannot get that kill. The Bob just going to be eliminated so far. That's all that NYXL been able to do for themselves. Is Nero will yet again lob that rocket into the jump. Maybe even still committed to the fight. Finds Nero, finds Chara. The ladder will fall, but the cart is uncontested, and it's 4 minutes 18 seconds now in the timing for the
where they can actually match New York Excelsior? And the answer is definitely, it's definitely possible. It's realistic to expect that they could actually match it if they continue at this pace. Then he swaps to Widowmaker here because it's obviously great for C, but it's great for helping shut down Nero's Pharah. Nero not even wanting to let him get out of spawn before he puts the pressure on. It goes both ways. It's not just the Widow counters the Pharah, but the Pharah can actually put the pressure on the Widow as well. Great play by Nero here to get them around this corner.
Yep. Rio as well, finishing off Mono. The poke out there. Playing around this tower. Then they looking for the shot. Can't quite line it up. Yeah, now looks for Happy. Doesn't get the hit that he desperately needs.
Even the sleep dart's coming out here to try to shut this guy down, but Nero is on fire. He will not be stopped. It's actually taking the long way around.
Now on the hunt, looking for Anamo. Pokes up over the top. Really careful at managing his fuel now, but you can see just how expert he is at this. Pushes his way back over the front with a concussive blast. Rockets now coming down from above. Hoxel going to be eliminated, but not before Krong goes get taken down. The G-Mech onto the Baby Diva here, or on the Bianca rather. Hit the finishing blow. All this res back in. Bit of opportunity for this barrage. Hasn't pulled the trigger on it yet. Bubble comes down. Mono got nowhere to go. There you go. Pops him with that barrage. Pokes back around the corner.
Pace here is
apply pressure. You can see Nene taking damage off screen just by looking at his HP bar.
You can see it. Look at Happy just push through no fear. They're in really nice position here. The minefield out preemptively again for Rio. They're pushed into a corner.
And a boost onto Nero. He's pushing in. He's on the hunt. A couple tags come through from JJONAK. The Bionade will connect onto Nero. So far, it's working wonderfully. Whole hog out from Krong to push everybody away from the cart. They try to roll this one in. And they will be able to do so here. 2 minutes and 5 seconds. So try to get in position to dive in onto these snipers. Start coming through. Happy going to be repositioning. Gets the dink on the Bianca's mech. JJONAK again is just going to be absorbing and reveling in all that healing he gets to do.
I mean, it's a slow.
Nene now swaps.
It's a slow push here, but the positioning is good for New York. You know, they're just slowly wrapping around this corner while avoiding sight lines. Not even having to commit Hoxalt in until the last possible second. He knows he can get a ton of charge off of Prong once he gets that chance.
Oh. Mono almost eliminated. Does get kept alive.
JJONAK, expert healing.
Falls up. Oh god. Another dig. Hoxalt taken down. See the translocate out for the shot. The Namo. Again, you can see everybody just spinning as much as possible to try to avoid getting a headshot by
Yeah,
Happy.
that's the thing. That's the way the style has to be played. Hoxalt commits in, right? And it looks like his deflect is just a second too late. Krong takes him out, and then everything else falls apart. New York has to retreat back, you know. Bianco, nice pick.
Rio eliminated, and that's something you have to be very concerned about. Against the Sombra. Anubis going to be used. Mono going into the back line, looking to take down Nero. There's not enough heal for him, but Nero, in his dying breath, threw out that Dragon Strike and managed to finish off Hoxalt. Prong hacked, antied out, and then they just managed to find the kill. And already burns the res, bringing Nero back into the fray. So let's see if he can pop up and try to make his defense successful. Mono goes up top, somebody's going to have to touch. Rio rolls back through, minefield almost online for him. He's happy and looks for a kill. The deflection being used by Hoxalt. Body shot, can't line it up on the head yet. Body tag there onto a Namo as well, pressuring them out as best as he can. Hoxalt dives in, finds Jara, getting the kill. Transcendence now rolling from Shu. As Hoxalt gets in on top of Happy, finishing him off with the right clicks. Now looks to farm onto Krong. Love to hold on to this Dragon Blade, and with the hack coming in, should be able to do so. Prong cannot take a breather, cannot heal himself, and NYXL will be able to push forward.
Nene looking for his opportunity to take the first fight with a backside EMP is detected for just a moment.
Is spotted, hadn't been seen yet by Happy. Did turn around with that imprecise rolling.
Look at Rio just contesting, just alone, just slowing it down.
Get in there.
Moving in as he can. Sleep Dart does not connect onto Hoxalt, manages to find Shu with the blade. Mono taking down Nero way in the back line as Happy is going to be suffering the same exact fate. Mono leaves them down. Rio tries to come to the rescue, but he just cannot do enough. Something like NYXL should be able to get themselves a point B push now here on Havana.
And, you know, now, you know, again, this is the best part for Guangzhou with double sniper, but with EMP ready and no available counter, I mean, this is a scary moment, you know, where suddenly this map might slip through your fingers. Your playoff life, your tournament life, your whole 2020 might just slip through.
Oh. That's a good start. The Dragon Strike now going to be tossed out over on the corner. They can clear that long enough that OT bar will plummet. EMP is used, finds 4 members on the side of the Guangzhou Charge, but no one eliminated here.
Very bad EMP, very
still,
missed
though, the
time.
part is contested. Rio going to be taken down. Bianca knocked out of the mech, looks for the baby diva, misses the first shot, misses the second. For a little bit more. They have to stay on that part. Minefield comes in to play. Happy follows up on the back of that explosion. Gets the kill on the Bianca. Now Anamo going to be gone. No mortality field is there. Krong receives a nano boost out from Shu. As they will finally be able to clear the cart and stop NYXL's push. There's see if Happy will be swapping off of the Hanzo here. Shots coming down. Nene looks to finish. Can't quite line it up. Seal tag repositions over to the side. Tagged again from Shu. Now will be very much forced out, but Shu got him. As he tried to grapple to the side, there's no mercy on the side of the NYXL, so they cannot bring him back into the fray. He's going to have to be running back in. Mono will fall, the front line crumbling here for the side of the NYXL. Bianca popped out, finished off, and like you say, very great start for the Guangzhou Charge.
With Euros on the other side, that means no D-Matrix, that means no damage mitigation, that means tons of AoE just chipping in, as you can see here. I mean, look, again,
and instantly, the supports are gone. Use the EMP there and then try to win, stop the card.
You have a win condition in stopping the card, right? So why contest here?
We're going for it. Still keep going for it. Let's see if NYXL can make me look like a fool. Krong already going to be gone. Happy taken down by Nene. Finds one. Rio does get mono, but they still play the card!
It might not matter, though.
They let the card get pushed through. It might not. We'll have to see.
I think New York might have overstepped here. I think they might have overextended here. They could have tried to play that same team fight either in the middle of B, where they had high ground advantage, or on the contest going into C, where they had those choke points controlled. They can still wait and play for that now. It's not all over here for this map. Guangzhou Charge can't make any mistakes.
Nero's sleeping. They get a sleep dart onto him. Can they get the collapse? The answer is going to be yes. Anama pushing forward, manages to find that kill. Chara, can he get a res off? I'm going to go ahead and venture a guess and say no. Pulse bomb out from Nene. The res does come through after enough space is created, but Oxo leaps up over the top and hacks all 4 of the remaining members of the side of the Guangzhou Charge. From, however, does manage to strike back, finds 1 kill, punishing the Sombra. The From, now Chara are all eliminated. Rio rejoins, drops in the minefield, is trying desperately to knock some of the members of the NYXL into these mines, but they get the sound barrier shielding from Anamo, and they cannot continue the push. The New York Excelsior will win on Havana. They will shut down the rest of the season. The hopes of continuing in the playoffs.